Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of 10 Day Talks. Today, we will be speaking about resentment. Having resentment is not going to give you back what you think you lost or what you gave. It's not going to give you your desired results. So, it's important that you be sober in choosing how you feel, that you be sober in deciding to figure out what is going to be necessary in order for you to let go of the resentment. You being resentful to one person may cause you to lash out at others that have nothing to do with that situation. And so you are then repaying other people, and you are robbing other people of the opportunity to really get to embrace you, get to know the real you, and you're robbing them of the opportunity to be able to engage with you on a deeper level because of what someone else did. And in essence, being resentful and bitter, you are punishing yourself and you're punishing the people around you. Resentment is like a cancer that eats up the good. It's like a caterpillar gone wild. It'll eat up all the things that are green and living, and there will be nothing left. There'll be um, holes in your life, holes in your relationship, and they will eat away and erode the good that could be in your relationship because you're resentful and you're frustrated and you just refuse to forgive and let go. Everybody has heard, most everyone has heard, forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. Being unforgiving and resentful is like drinking poison and watching the other person hoping they drop dead or hoping they get sick. And you're really just taking yourself through unnecessary punishment. Um, Ask yourself, do I really want to live a life where I can thrive? And is holding on to this thing going to get me closer to who it is and what it is that I want out of life? Or is it going to cause getting to those places being more difficult? Is this resentment, this frustration, this agitation, this upset in the way of me moving forward? And I'm not saying at all, don't feel your feelings. I'm not saying at all, don't set your boundaries based on your experiences with others. But resentment can just take a hold of you in ways that you didn't imagine or ways that you didn't expect. You didn't expect that because you're upset about this one situation for it to, for example, say um, you're in a situation where you were supposed to exchange gifts with somebody and at the last minute they didn't come through with what they said they were going to come through with. And so now when they call you or whenever you're going to possibly interact with them, there's this tinge, there's this feeling left there, there's this agitation that you feel in reference to them, partially because you gave and you didn't receive, partially because they weren't a woman or man of integrity of their word, and because you feel like they maybe haven't addressed it or they didn't apologize for it, or after the apology they didn't make it right. And sometimes we just have to understand that people, they aren't, sometimes they're not going to make it right, and they're not going to make it right in a way that feels right to you, because maybe in their mind, they gave an apology and or they gave an explanation, and so they've made you whole. But for you, you don't feel whole in reference to that situation. You feel like there's still some holes, there's still some challenges, there's still some, oh, this is unfair. There's still some unfairness, but what we have to realize as full grown adults is life is unfair. Um, I just kind of have to laugh at that. Life is unfair. It's not all that we wanted it to be. It's not our fairy tale ideal. It is not a romantic comedy. It is not a comedy. It's not a sitcom. Um, and it's a roller coaster ride. And sometimes you're on the roller coaster and you don't feel like you have any safety, that you could fall out and fall to your death at any time. And sometimes that's just how life shows up. But remember that we get to decide how we feel about it. We get to decide how we move through it. We get to set our boundaries. We get to choose to heal and do the work to heal. And that if you've been dealing with something, an emotion, a way of being for a really long time, if resentment and being resentful is your way of being, consider how much you've already allowed it to rob you of. And the thing is, it didn't rob you like you're walking down the street and somebody comes up from behind you and they put a gun in your back. No, you have opened your wallet in front of somebody that you know is a klepto, or somebody, or you've opened your wallet or you have put yourself and placed yourself in a vulnerable position when it comes to resentment, which means you've allowed it to imprison you while you have the key to the prison door, or the door isn't even locked. Consider that scenario. Consider how you've placed yourself in position and you have wound and weaved this web. And so now you have to begin to do the work to dismantle it. And it was easier to create the web and to imprison yourself than it is going to be for you to get yourself out of the prison that you've created. But think well of yourself. Be patient with yourself. Remind yourself that you're capable. And also remind yourself that you don't have to do it isolated. You don't have to do it alone. You can reach out for help. And it's not a weakness in you that even though you've created this situation, you now have to fully take on everything that it is in order to get out of it. No, you just have to begin to align yourself and begin to connect with others that are willing to assist you, that are willing to support you, that are willing to hold you accountable. But you have to be willing to be accountable too. Because even if you're around people that will hold you accountable, but you refuse to be accountable, it's unfair to them. And you're being unfair to yourself. Because then you've created a scenario where you have opportunity to do something different than you've done, but you're choosing to continue to do what you previously did and what you have been doing that does not work anymore. It is not a paradigm that works anymore. And so you have to begin to take small steps to climb out of it. You have to begin to take small steps to heal for the betterment of your own self and your own life. And forgiving the other person, forgiving yourself, because some people struggle with forgiving yourself. I'm one of those people. I can easily, how I see it. I'm not saying that everybody that is exchanged with me feels the same way, but how I see it is there have been times where it's easy for me to forgive somebody else, for me to give them the pass, for me to see that, okay, they went through this thing, so this is how they operate. They're hurt in this area, so this is how they show up. So I can extend them grace. I can extend them mercy. I can be nice to them. I can be cordial to them. I can be caring towards them. But I don't always, and I haven't always been able to do that same thing for myself. Because there are times when I'll see it as I allowed this person to do X, Y, and Z to me. And so I'm responsible for how they've treated me. I'm responsible for the outcome because I allowed it. And then subconsciously, I have punished myself because of what I've allowed. But you have to begin to bring all of that up to the surface and consciously and consistently forgive yourself. Constantly, consistently, intentionally be nice to yourself. Constantly, consistently, and intentionally embrace yourself. Your flaws and or quirks or shortcomings or whatever. You be the person in your life to love yourself with all your flaws, all your shortcomings, all of your differences. Consider that your differences are what make you unique. Your differences are what make you you. Your differences are your gift to the world. That somebody needs something other than what they've been getting. That what they've been getting is not enough to fill their cup, is not enough to shift the paradigm. Maybe you're the trailblazer. Consider the amount of resistance that a trailblazer would meet. Consider all these things in reference to how your life is going, how you desire for it to change, what you're willing to do in order to implement those changes, and being patient with yourself in the process of all of this occurring. This has been episode 2 of 10-Day Talks. Thank you so very much for your time. I am still figuring out this internet stuff. Not that I haven't been on the internet, not that I haven't done a video. I'm still figuring out the technology and the logistical things. So I am grateful for your patience with me in this process. And I look forward to doing more and more videos, speaking with you again and again. Please feel free to comment. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to this channel. Again, I thank you so much for your time. I wish you well. I'm sending you love and well wishes and reminding you that you can, that you will, that you are loved, that you are capable, that you're strong, and that you can persevere, that you don't have to stay where you are, that you can choose to be somewhere else, and that you can do what it takes in order to get yourself there. Bye, everybody.